Welcome those of you from PRVN. I want to first thank you all for joining us and taking time out of your busy day to watch this webinar on demand. Today we're going to really talk about how we can enhance and how we can really build upon what you're already doing at the dealership and maximize everything you're doing with the increased demand that you're seeing in the RV business. So my name is Tim. I'm one of the regional sales managers here with Motility Software. I'm going to walk you through some things you may already know, some things you may learn. And for those of you that are current customers, you may see some new screenshots of our upcoming fully web-based system. And if you're excited about that, reach out to your account manager, reach out to our team. Let us know you're interested in upgrading from your current system over to our web-based system. And for those prospective customers of ours now, this is what you would be getting when you guys sign on with us. So let's talk about the busy season that we're seeing right now. So first and foremost, I don't have to tell you, this is probably the busiest we've ever seen the RV market. And that really kicked off from early 2020 when you had more and more people that were getting pent up in their house and during quarantine, and they were just anxious and amped to get out and to get somewhere. But with air travel and with a lot of other transportation options not really being an option, they really took to the RV market and started with the rentals. We saw the highest increase in rental in almost 20 years. We've seen the highest sales in almost 20 years. And that really started to transpire and really push into late 2020 and early 2021. And as you guys have figured out with the increase in sales and the increase in rentals, every part of your business is growing and every part of your business is really booming. And so how do we take the most advantage of that? How do we really make sure that we're increasing our productivity during the busy season? And that's what we're really going to get into, because now more than ever, you must invest into a DMS that can really maximize and streamline the critical dealer operations. So first and foremost, ensure that your customer database is the backbone of your business. So when we talk about CRM, we're not necessarily talking about just the sales side of things, because as we all know that the customer always comes first. We want to eliminate double entry. We want your teams, whether they're in parts and service or sales or even accounting, to all be able to link into the single customer record. You want that golden entity that you can see all of those parts, all of the service tickets, everything that they've ever done with you in one place, because that's going to eliminate a lot of extra work. It's going to eliminate a lot of running around, especially between sales and service. So having one single customer record, having one single record of any entity in your business is really going to ensure that that backbone is solid and that you guys can continue working without having to do all that double work. And as you can see here, this is our contact list. This is our unified CRM. This is our unified database of our customers. And it has everything that you need from that sales side all the way to the service side, all the way to the accounting. And you don't have to have multiple customers or multiple entities in your system if they're a customer or an employee who's bought from you or anything like that. It's all one singular record. The best thing about our CRM is that it's focused on who's using it, and it's not necessarily something that is just sales focused anymore. This is something that if I look at it as an accountant, I'm going to see one thing. If I look at it as a salesperson, I'm going to see what I need to do my job. And as a parts and service manager, I'm going to be able to look into that customer record, see what they've had done before, see what they've ever purchased from us, whether it's warranty work or anything like that. We want to make sure you have all of that information at your fingertips. And now with Motility Anywhere, it doesn't matter if it's on a Mac or a PC or Windows or a tablet. You can run this on anything that can run Google Chrome. And that's what really makes this great. With a cloud-based system, you can be anywhere. You can be out on the lot with the customer. You can be at the desk with the customer. You can be even running mobile service. And having this all under one single database is really going to allow that ease of use and you to streamline that customer process. So we've talked about this, and I've just mentioned it about 28 times, but we're going to do number 29. So with the sales process especially, we've noticed that there's been a lot of double entry, a lot of rework. Imagine getting all the way through your paperwork, finding out that you put a 7 instead of a 2 in their social, or their address is wrong, and you have to go back and do every piece of paperwork over again. Or if you guys are using something like App One, having to fill out all of that information and then going back and filling it all out in your system. When you have something that's a unified sales process, you have the ability to push all of that information out to App One, to run VIN verifications, to make sure that you're only putting in the information once and you can check it, and then it'll transfer through all to the rest of your paperwork, which in the end of the day is going to help you close deals faster. It's going to allow you to be focused in that communication with the customer, and it's going to allow you to sell more to those customers because you're not spending all day writing out all of that information over and over and over again. So with our motility system, you can upload any documents that you see in there, like driver's license. You can upload all of that, so that way you can view them all as a F&I manager, as a sales manager, as a salesperson. You can start that process and get all of that paperwork set up and ready to go. So that way it just enhances the customer experience. They don't want to sit all day, every day, waiting for you to get the paperwork done. They just want a quick, easy process. They want to get on the road. They want to get camping, and you want to get more and more customers out. And so by having something that's integrated, having something that takes that customer information or that vehicle information, you store the vehicle or the customer vehicle information in your system when they buy from you in the first place. And if they bring that as a trade-in, all of that transfers over without you having to do more than anything but click a button. So that really makes this process go by much smoother and much faster, and it just makes that customer happier. And I know I've talked about it before, but with those integrations, you have things like Connect for text messaging. You have the menu options from the Impact Group. The integration with 700 Credit allows you to run that credit ahead of time. I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but this also helps with that process too, because imagine having to type all of the information into your system, pushing it all out to App One, then making sure it's all right, and then having to go back and update your system again. With the fully integrated system with that push-pull option, once the information's in your system, it can be pushed out to App One, and any changes you make in App One can then be pulled back into the system. And that's the way we like to work with our partners, is having that push-pull, having the ability to allow your team only to put the information in once, rather than doing it over and over again and possibly having those mistakes that come through. So I'll take a minute. I'll let you guys pause and take a look at some of these. You may be partners with them already. You may be already using them, which is great, because when you use our system, it'll just make that process so much easier, especially when it comes to things on the parts side, like NPT Stag or Lippert. It's going to make that process of ordering those parts even easier, rather than having to just go to their website, put it all in, and then populate the information back into the system. And if you don't see one of your partners here, we have an open API platform that allows us to connect to the partners of your choice. So if you're a current customer and you use somebody and you want them to be integrated into our system, reach out to your account manager, let us know. We'll get in contact with them. We'll see what needs to be done, so that way we can work on that. And if you're a prospective customer, take a look at some of these, take note of which ones you guys are already using, and notice to see if your system is currently doing that. If it's not, you might want one that does, because it's just going to make your life a lot easier. It's going to improve the customer experience, and it's going to allow you to turn more wrenches, to get more units off the lot, and to get everything going much faster. So like we talked about with parts, every department that is using a different system can really be a pain. Imagine if you're trying to sweeten a deal on the sales side and you go to add those parts and you can't see if they're in stock, or you can't see if you need to special order them, or you just don't even know what you have to allow you to sweeten that deal. I know we deal with this a lot in the marine business, and we deal with this a lot in the RV business, because they want to add things that are just normal accessories for a brand new unit purchase, and not having that insight into what is there in the parts team, that really just slows down the process, makes you have to go get a runner or somebody, or send an email out, and it just makes that process very complicated. So keeping an up-to-date inventory list, allowing your team all across the board to see what you have in stock, what's been allocated for other departments, that really helps out, especially when it comes to special orders for service tickets. And then, of course, being able to track ship times, cost fluctuations, and more just eliminates that extra work that we've been talking about and streamlines that process even more. So, greatest thing about this is when this also works on the unit inventory side. It's not just parts that are necessarily in your inventory, as you very well know. And so you want to be able to have, at a quick glance, everything on the part side, everything on the service side, everything in the unit side. You want to be able to track their status. You want to be able to know what you have, where it is, and how many you have to sell. So the one system allows for all of that. And yes, this next slide is going to be scary for a lot of you, because QuickBooks has really become an integral part of your business, especially if you are a company that's been doing this for a long time, making do with what you have, not necessarily having an outside accounting firm, which you don't necessarily need with our system. With our system, you can replace QuickBooks and eliminate all that manual entry that goes into sorting everything into the proper journals, or populating all of those purchase orders, or I've seen baskets full of purchase orders or full of packing slips that then have to be manually added in there. If you guys use a fully integrated system that has accounting built in, you can cut down on all of that time, and even cut down the check writing process completely. And that's through Motility Pay, which is one of our systems that is built into our software. And that allows you to essentially eliminate the check writing process and allow your accountants to do more of the auditing side of things, rather than that tireless entry that you see over and over and over again. Like I mentioned before, minimizing that data entry, because it's all integrated, so you know exactly what parts is doing, exactly what service is doing, exactly what went into every single unit sale. Having that ready to go in real time helps create that efficiency on the accounting side too. It's not just for parts and service, this system. And on the service side, we get this a lot. Those of you that are members of RVDA know exactly what rec reporting is. They know exactly what they need to do, and they want to cut down that repair event cycle time. And having something like our manager's dashboard, having something that you can look at a glance and see what's been taking the longest, what's been costing you the most. Being able to see that on a regular basis, and even just at a quick glance, will really give you insight on how you can do better at that. Because at the end of the day, let's think about it. You want to turn more wrenches and not have to put in as much entry. And there's a lot of great added benefits to this. So not only can you do this from a sales manager side of, or point of things, but your mechanics can too. They can use our mobile side of things, as you see here on the tablet. That allows them to clock in and out of the jobs, see just the jobs they're assigned. As service managers, you can create that new RO on the fly, especially if you're doing any sort of mobile service. It's going to allow you to do all that out. It's going to allow you to build that repair order, allow the customer to sign off on it with the estimate, and then see exactly what's going on at the dealership at all times. We want to really eliminate that double entry, and we want just to allow your team to get back to what they're doing and not have to manually punch in every single thing. And especially for those of you that are still using paper repair orders, this is going to save you a lot of time, a lot of effort, and like we talked about, being able to see what parts you have in stock, what's already been allocated for jobs, will help with that cycle time as well. And like we talked about in the beginning, rentals have become such a big part of the game. And I know I've talked to a lot of dealers that are really getting into this. And a lot of them that didn't rent before are now renting them out now, whether it's consignment rentals or whether it's rentals that you guys have in stock. You want to make sure that you know exactly what's going on at all times. The rental guessing game has been a killer over the past year for a lot of the customers that I deal with, because they haven't been able to really take time to look into what do we have, what needs repairs, what needs work done, where, when are these due back. All of that can be eliminated using an integrated system that taps into your units and allows you to see exactly what's ready, exactly what's out, when it's coming back, what you need to do for it, and what kind of work needs to be done to really get everything moving. Next point I want to talk about is being connected to your customers. So a lot of you guys are using your Gmails, your text messages, your phone calls to get in touch with potential customers, but also to bring back current customers. Like we talked about, the customer is key. You want to make sure they know exactly when they should winterize. You want to know exactly when they're planning to buy things, and exactly what's going on with their current service tickets. And a lot of that can be done all through our system and tracked. So as a manager, you probably want to be able to see every possible thing that your salesperson is doing. And as a salesperson, you want to know exactly what you've done in the past. And with our integrated messaging, with our integrated calendar, our text messaging through Connect, like we talked about, you can do all of this and have a lot of it done automated as well. So you can have tasks automatically created 6 months after they buy to remind them to bring it back in for winterization, or every fall, or anytime you run a sale or anything like that. You can track all of that communication with the customer so you know exactly what's been done and nobody falls through the cracks. So having the integrated email, you can see every single email that comes in or out of the system. You can see every phone call that's been made. You can see every text message that goes out to the customer with our Partner Connect. You can see all of that. And a lot of that can be done automatically. You can have those emails automatically sent out. You can create templates that will populate the customer's information in there and then send that to them every week or every month, however often you want to do that. That's one of the beauties of our system, is that it's customizable and tailorable towards your business practices. And especially when it comes to the customers, we know not every dealer is the same. And so we want to allow that that automation and that customization, so that way you can do exactly what you need to do to keep your customers on track. And how do we really look into this as an ownership side of things, as a manager? Leverage those reports. Having an integrated system means you can see all of it in one fell swoop. I mean, you can do an entire full DMS report that will show you everything from parts, service, sales. It'll give you all of that information. We have hundreds and hundreds of built-in reports that track everything from profit and loss, inventory aging. It can even do an audit of your parts once a month, so that way you're not doing a full inventory at the end of the year. You can do that throughout the year so you know exactly what you have. And all of these reports come standard in our system. And if they're, the nice thing about this too, if there are reports that you want to have done, or maybe bits from one report that you really like on another report, we have a custom report builder that allows you to take advantage of just about every bit of data that's in our system. If you want it to be reported on and it's in our system, the likelihood is that we can absolutely do that for you. Like I said, talking about the full DMS statement, like you can see here, you can have them instantly, and you can have that sent out to you, in this example, monthly. You can have that, you can have reports batched out to you weekly. You don't have to go and pull the reports every single time you want to. You can have them automatically emailed to you or automatically printed out on your own office printer. You can have these done so you can take a look at them and really do the audit like we talked about before and know exactly what's going on in your dealership at all times. There's a lot of power in being able to report and view everything that's going on. And there's even more to come. We're building out more and more reports using the dealer feedback that we get, using the information that the dealers want to see. We can build those reports for you so you have every bit of information and you know exactly what's happening at your dealership at all times. The automation of those reports and having those automatically batched out to you can make your life incredibly easy. Take note from what Ken over at Seguin RV has said. He is one of those people that is incredibly statistically minded. He wants to be able to see every aspect of his business at all times. And as they started to really make the transition from more of just a sales-focused dealership over to a parts and service, having it all integrated has really made the key. He came over from QuickBooks himself, and this automation and functionality, that is something that really ties a lot into that accounting side of things and the reporting, because he wants to see everything that goes on those sides, and having that push automatically and in real time over to the accounting team really helps them do so. So now he can see every aspect of his business using those managers' dashboards, using those automatic reports, and knowing exactly what's going on at all times. So I'm Tim. Like I said, I'm one of the regional sales managers here with Motility. Please feel free to reach out. If you guys want more tips and tricks, like we talked about before, we've been doing this for a very long time, and we know what it takes to run a dealership successfully. We know how to really maximize what you're currently doing, and we know how to make it even better. So if you're a current customer, reach out to me. We can get you in touch with your account manager, and we can talk more about Motility Anywhere, or we can talk about how we can improve on those processes. And if you're a dealer that's not necessarily with us right now and you want to know more, or you want to know a little bit more about Motility in general, feel free to reach out to me. My Calendly's right there. You can book a time directly on my calendar, or you can email me, or you can call me. We all take ownership of every account here at Motility, and so feel free to reach out to me and let me know what we can do to assist. And thank you to all of you at PRVN for being able to view our webinar on demand. I know you weren't able to join our initial webinar, but we wanted to offer you something in about 25 minutes or less that could really help maximize. So feel free to reach out to me, let me know what I can do, and thank you for joining.